Hey, what's up everybody? It is Uncle Mad here today, Saturday, March 18th, 2023. Nashville SC is back in action tonight. They traveled up to Foxborough, Massachusetts to take on the New England Revolution. Now, originally, I wasn't going to be able to go to any of the watch parties this week because I was supposed to be officiating a UPSL match today, but that match ended up getting canceled due to a forfeit. A little late notice on that, so I didn't have time to get things turned around to be able to get out and get to the match. But it's okay because there's also like a weird midday UFC pay-per-view on, like right now, because it's in England. I got a friend who's in England who I was trying to bully him to get him to go to the UFC show, but he wouldn't do it, so what's wrong with him? But we're going to watch a little UFC. We're going to watch the Nashville SC match, which should be fun. And I'm also going to unbox this year's season ticket member gift, see what the club sent to us for our loyalty and commitment to the club. The boys are back in gold today, so are we. Should be a fun night. Going to be a tough test. This is probably the toughest match of the season so far for Nashville SC, but it should be a fun one. Like this season's been going really well so far, so we haven't had the negativity yet. You know, could get a little wonky tonight, but it's been a fun season so far. I hope it keeps going tonight. Hope we get a result. Come on, you boys in gold. All right, so what we got to do to be able to watch sports all night is we got to make sure we take care of the wife. Happy wife, happy life. Everybody knows that. So before we get to the match, I'm going to whip up this delicious looking seared salmon and walnut cilantro sauce from Blue Apron. Okay, the lineups are out for the match. No Gill as expected for New England, so that's good to see, but they still got some weapons. I did not know Bobby Wood played for them. That's interesting. Dave Romney's back, former Nashville SC stalwart. He's starting for the New England Revolution. Let's see the Nashville SC lineup. Willis, Lovett, Smauer, Zimmerman, Moore. Back four we've been running with. McCarty, Davis, Muehl, Schaffelberg, Mukhtar, Bunbury. Bunbury versus old team New England. No Fafa. Is Fafa on the bench? Fafa's on the bench. Guess he wants to have Muehl in for the little extra running, the extra defensive work Muehl will put in, I guess. I would have rather seen Fafa, but solid group, solid lineup. Still no Annabelle, still no Liao. Another successful Blue Apron meal. All right, match is underway for Nashville SC. We're in the fourth round of the championship fight between Leon Edwards and Kamaru Usman on the UFC show. Whew. This is my first time getting to watch the full Apple TV broadcast because two times, we've had 3 games. Twice they were at Geodis Park, so I was there. The other one we went to the Lost Patty for the watch party, so watching in a big crowd, didn't get to fully take in the Apple TV broadcast, the commentary, the visuals of it and everything like that. And it's crisp, it's pretty so far. I like the commentators. Oh, Hani Mukhtar! Oh my God, what a save! Holy cow, Hani Mukhtar with a rip. Schaffelberg! Oh, big chance for Nashville SC in the 14th minute. 15th minute, actually. Wow, what a hit by Hani Mukhtar. They say this guy, this new keeper that New England's got, stepped in right for Matt Turner and hasn't missed a beat and is arguably already the best goalkeeper in MLS, and he showed it right there. What a save. What a strike by Hani, though. That was incredible. Good start to the match from Nashville SC. Big chance there. I'm really torn right now because obviously I want to watch this Nashville SC match. This UFC match is huge. But Jessa in our 7 bajillion 3 watch of The Office is just getting to the scene where everybody goes to interview at corporate. And spoiler alert, we finally get the Jim and Pam big moment of him asking her on a date. So I kind of want to watch that too. There's just only so many screens in this house. Big round for Usman. He's coming on strong. Edwards seems to be fading. It's pretty close. I don't know who's up right now. Edwards was pretty solid the first 2 rounds. Usman bounced back. He seems to have a little bit more stamina right now. Edwards looks pretty close to being gassed right now between rounds. I don't understand why Usman keeps going for takedowns. He's got to win. I don't think he can He hasn't been able to get him down at all, and I don't think he's going to be able to get him down and get on a submission or anything this late in the fight. Like, he needs to try and get a strike in, trying to finish it. Leon Edwards did it, retains the title. Hometown London boy, place is going nuts. Awesome show. This is a really good UFC tonight. Really, really good show. The Gaethje fight was insane. Really good UFC show tonight. Still 0-0 in Nashville, New England. I could be completely off about this, but like watching when they've gone to some crowd shots here at New England, I feel like Boston, New England fans just wear whatever team's gear they want to wear on any given day. Like, there's people in all kinds of jerseys there. There's like Revolution jerseys, there's Red Sox jerseys, Patriot stuff. They just support the teams across the board. Probably a few Bruins jerseys. And so they just throw on whatever gear they want to go to all the matches. I feel like I've seen that at Patriots games and Red Sox games too, where they just like throw on whatever gear they want, not team specific. Feels like a very Boston thing. I could be completely wrong about that, but I don't feel like we've ever seen like, uh-oh. Oh! How is he not offsides there? Ooh, a huge break there for Boo. He's apparently onside somehow. I don't know how, but he just blasted it high. It was wide open breakaway. I think he was actually offside. I think VAR would have turned that over if it got in, but still. Yeah, but you don't typically see like a lot of people at Nashville SC games wearing like Predators gear, or people at Predators games wearing Titans gear, or people at Titans games wearing Nashville SC gear. You know, people kind of dress for the occasion there more, and I could be completely wrong about that, but that's just like what I have in my head for like Boston, New England teams. NYCFC is up 2-0 on DC United. Charlotte's up 1-0 on Orlando. The result they desperately need. They've had a really rough start to the season, has Charlotte. Although Orlando, you know, for a lot of people had them picked potentially as a big-time contender in the East. They haven't had the best start to the season either. Oh, Charlotte's up 2-0 now. Wow. Sheesh. I'm always a little wary about our basically playing like a two-man midfield as opposed to a midfield three. It just seems to leave us so open, especially at a game like today where it's the midfield two is Dax and Sean Davis, because you know Dax, just bless his heart, love him to death, you know, can't cover ground the way he once probably could. I said it in like one of the game previews, I think it was last week's game preview, I'd kind of like to see a midfield three of like a Nunga, Davis, and Dax together, because I feel like a Nunga could do all the extra running that Dax can't do anymore. But Dax has still got the great range of passing that he can pull from midfield. And Sean Davis, he's just, you know, he's always in the right spot, but it's just never, you know, I don't know that Gary's ever, I'm sure he has, but I can't remember off the top of my head him ever really playing off like a 4-3-3. It's always been either a kind of more modified 4-2-2 or like a 4-2-3-1 or like a 4-4-1-1 or like even a back five for a while till we got Shaq Moore last season. It was like a kind of like a 5-3-2 or like a 5-2-3. I'm just saying numbers at this point. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Interesting. Shuffleboard's been like cutting in and coming a lot more centrally in this game. Like he's not staying wide. He's like letting Lovitz kind of cover the width on the left, and he's running a lot more through the middle. It's interesting. Oh, Montar from distance just missed. Oh my goodness. He's going to test them. He's going to make them work. 2 good rips from distance for him so far in this game. He's hungry. He knows he doesn't have a goal yet this season. He's ready to get one. All right, that's it. Halftime, Nashville SC 0, New England 0. About as exciting as a 0-0 first half as you can get, though. Plenty of good chances for both teams. The one early, about 15 minutes in, from Hanny, and the huge header from Walker off the crossbar. Whew. Nashville really probably should have a goal after those 2 chances, but New England had 2 really, really decent ones that they also couldn't capitalize on at least. So, good first half, exciting first half. 0-0 though at the half. God, I can hear the post hit. Jeez. Okay, so while we've got a little break at halftime, I figure this is a good opportunity to unbox our 2023 Nashville SC season ticket member gift. I thought about doing this as its own. Oh my goodness. Wow, Montreal just barely got away with one there. Montreal's up 1-0 on Philadelphia. Almost 1-1 right at the end of the first half there, but great save by the Montreal goalkeeper. Anyway, I was originally going to do this as its own kind of standalone video, but then I kind of saw on Twitter some people post what is in the box, and I was like, I don't know that there's, you know, enough in here to justify doing a full standalone video for it. I did see what the people who got the premium club seats got in their box, and it's way better than what we poor people on the other side got in our box. But you get what you pay for. You know, you pay for the expensive seats. You know, you got what you get. So here we go, unboxing. What do we got here? All right, we have a Nashville SC license plate frame. Nashville SC season ticket member. Pretty cool. We have a little kind of message photo book thing for welcome. We're glad you're in. Welcome back to Geodis Park. We're so excited to be kicking off the 2023 season back in the Eastern Conference. On behalf of Nashville Soccer Club, we want to sincerely thank you for being a 2023 season ticket member. Our home isn't a home without you. Your passion, energy, enthusiasm, and cheers make Geodis Park one of the most electrifying experiences in town. We can't wait to make more memories with you in 2023. The countdown is on as we get ready for our 2023 debut against New York City FC. This came like 2 days ago. This game was like a month ago. Enjoy this gift as a thank you for your tremendous support. See you at Geodis Park soon, your friends at Nashville SC. That fell on the ground. Get ready for the 2023 season. Meet the service team. Manage your tickets, season pass, know your match day. Oh, it says 2023 member patch. Oh, cool. There is a patch in here. I actually got the first string patch because I'm technically a member of the first string going back to the USL days. Wish I could be one of the people who can claim to be going back to all the really early days, like the MPL days and stuff like that, but I jumped on the bandwagon during the USL era, so I did get a cool first string patch. Founding MLS member. Note in here about the member discount you get on merchandise. And then Geodis. A note about Geodis is a leading global logistics provider, but they couldn't work out the logistics to get this out before the season started. Still had the message in here about we can't wait for the season to start. It's like you sent this out 3 weeks after the season started. Also, we've got a scarf. So patch, scarf, and license plates. Cover. Atlanta just went up 2-0 on Portland. I'd have to look at it to compare, but this kind of looks like the same one I got last season. Probably a little different, but looks pretty similar. Once again, got the first string branding on there, so nice gift. I mean, I'm sure Nashville SC's mind, they're like, this is a very expensive gift because scarves apparently cost $40 now. So like, oh, a $40 scarf and a patch and a license plate. They probably think that's pretty cool, but I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of lame. I've seen what other teams do for their season ticket members, and this definitely isn't even close to hitting the bar that other teams are doing for their season ticket gift. Like I said, I did see what like premium season ticket members who sit in club got, and theirs was incredible. They got leather Nashville SC coasters and like a full Nashville SC charcuterie kit with like a charcuterie board, the kind that has like a tray that folds out where like your knives and stuff are stored inside of it. But once again, like I said, you get what you pay for. That, like, you know, you pay what you're paying to sit over there, you get a little bit more, but I don't expect to get anything as like high end as that. But this, a license plate holder and a scarf and a patch, patch, kind of lame. And it was clearly meant to go out before the season started, since that note in there is like, we can't wait to see you at the home opener against NYCFC, and it came a month after that game actually happened. So second year in a row that the season ticket member gift has been pretty lame in my opinion. I need to get the second half started because now I'm in a kind of a bad mood. That kind of soured my mood after a kind of a fun first half. Season ticket member gift. as if my bracket wasn't destroyed enough by the last 2 days. My national champion, Kansas, lost to Arkansas. It's a good thing I didn't put any money. Oh, actually, I have a ton of bets outside of the bracket. So yeah, I'm losing a ton of money on this college basketball season. A lot of $5 bets going straight down the drain this season. This tournament has been a disaster for me. So I just saw here Ben Wright tweeted out that it looks like Nashville's actually playing a back five with Shaq Moore tucking in as a center back and Alex Moyle playing more as a wing back. And he's got Shuffleberg and Bunbury as dual strikers, which would kind of explain why it looked like Shuffleberg was playing a little tighter, a little more inside than he normally does. So that makes sense. I just now saw that because I'm just now catching up on Twitter. Second half underway. There's the kickoff. No changes for the boys in gold. I don't know if it exactly looks like that formation, though. Maybe they were trying that a little bit as a mix thing where they can kind of shift in and out of that, because Mukhtar is really high up the field right now, right with Bunbury. Moyle's very high up the field. But yeah, Shuffleberg is definitely way tucked in, way more central than he normally is. But Shaq Moore's pretty high up the field too. He's coming up to take a throw in. I don't know. It's kind of a hybrid format. Maybe they're like kind of like shifting around and kind of taking advantage of the flexibility they have in the personnel today, which is, you know, not a good thing. That's one of the things, like, you know, Alex Moyle at times has been kind of a pariah amongst Nashville SC fans at times, but I think Gary likes him because he's versatile. He can play like center mid, he can play right back, right wing back, right wing. He's even played as like a 10 a few times, so he can kind of do it all, and he's always going to work hard. So I can see why Gary Smith has always kind of rated him. He just literally just now he just was working his butt off pressing New England and forced them to just pass the ball straight out of bounds for a turnover deep in their own third. So, you know, you can kind of see his value right there. You can't see it because you're looking at me, but I can see it watching the match. Wow. 25 seconds into the start of the second half in their game, Philadelphia equalizes against Montreal. This 360 thing is pretty sick. I'm loving MLS on Apple TV. This is awesome. Like, I know a lot of people were saying, you know, one of the things about like the 360 was like, how much would you get to watch it? Because, you know, you're going to watch your team if you're watching on Apple TV. You don't necessarily want to watch 360, but this is a pretty solid setup that I've got going. Oh, God! Whew! Huge scramble right in front of the goal for New England. Nashville SC finally able to get it cleared out and save the day there. That was dangerous. Anyway, but if you've got dual screens, anyway, you can set up dual screens like a, you know, like a laptop, an iPad. It's pretty cool to have 360 going on, like kind of like your secondary screen, and like your team's main game going on the main screen. Like, this is a decent setup. I love going to the watch parties. You know, I'm definitely going to continue to go into the watch parties and stuff like that. But this is kind of a fun way to be able to watch, you know, the Nashville SC match, but also, oh, Toronto just scored. 1-0 Toronto over Miami. This is cool. There's stuff happening all over the place. I love this. This is exactly what I was talking about early in the season, in my season previews, about how I'm excited about Apple TV giving me the chance to be able to see more of the league, to be able to keep up with what's going on around the league, because I've got a good feel, you know, over the last couple of years for Nashville SC, what we've got, you know, a couple of our rivals I've gotten pretty familiar with, but like, you know, there's 17 teams in the league that I probably couldn't name a player on, so it's cool to be able to just see everything and have everything at my fingertips with this new Apple deal. I'm loving this so far. Golly. Huge save from Joe just there. New England's knocking on the door here. We're on our heels. We got to do something. Good job by Shaq Moore doing enough to kind of deflect it. Joe on top of the rebound. Double save by Joe. We got to snap out of it. New England's come out with more fire in the second half than us. We've been on our heels this whole time. This is one of those situations where when you kind of play a style of play where you're not keeping much of the ball, you can kind of get yourself into trouble, because if you're not, you know, breaking, if you're not creating the counterattacking situations, you're just constantly on your heels. And that's where we're at right now. Christian Benteke plays for DC United. Ah, New England just scored. Golly, I'm trying to help my parents log in, texting them passwords and stuff like that. distracted by Christian Benteke being an MLS player and New England scores. Son of a gun. Streak of clean sheets is over for Nashville SC. I was just saying it. 2 on our heels, no control in the game, just giving up everything. Oh, I think he's onside. I think he was onside there, but it was tight. He looked onside for the most part, but oh, Joe, that's not a good spot to get beat near post. But it's upper 90, but I mean, gotta get something to it there. Jeez. Ugh. Too easy from Joe. Jack Mara just let the guy go, just let him dribble, just didn't close him down. Bad all the way around. You can feel it coming though. That's how it's been the second half. We've just been on our heels nonstop, doing nothing to relieve the pressure, not able to establish any possession ourselves. You can just feel it coming. It's official. Onside, goal stands, 1-0 New England. It was coming though. You could just tell. Cincinnati's up 1-0 on Chicago. They're coming to town next week. That would be 10 minutes in, they're up 1-0 on Chicago. That would be exactly what I would need. My birthday's next Saturday, so that's exactly what I'm going to need for my birthday, is for FC Cincinnati to come to Nashville and... Ugh. I don't even want to think about it. I don't even want to say it. Disgusting. Has to be like 95% possession for New England in the second half so far. I feel like we've not had the ball for more like 2 seconds. Just turned over again. Immediately give it back. Just every time we get the ball, just immediately give it right back to him. This is ridiculous. Honestly, don't know why we're not just like bypassing midfield at this point, why we're trying to pass through when we get the ball. Best chance we'd have is to get it up to Teal, let him try to hold the ball up, let Hanny run off him, or get Hanny breaking long, Schaffelberg breaking with his speed. I mean, trying to pass our way up the field is not working when you've got 2 midfielders and one of them can barely move. Just cannot get any of the ball. Now at the next wave of games starting, though, they just mentioned on 360 there's now currently 11 games going simultaneously right now, so plenty of MLS soccer going on. There's lots of scoring. Everybody's scoring all over the place. We were one of the few games that didn't have a goal in the first half, I think. Blech. Goal now, though. 2-1 Philadelphia. They're coming back. There's hope for us. Philadelphia seems a lot more competent in attack than we've been in this game, though. Not going to lie, I had Nashville SC, New England, both teams to score, bet in this game, so it's inevitably going to end up 2-0 New England. Oh my God, Sean Davis. Corner right to Sean Davis, right in front of the goal, and he just like headed it straight in the ground. He wasn't even directing it towards the goal. Goal scoring. Sean Davis, it was almost a defensive header more than anything from Sean Davis right there. Solid player, he's always in the right spot. Decent player at recycling play and keeping possession, but he is... goal scoring is not his forte. Oh my days. What is going on with like the epidemic of MLS back passes directly to strikers in attacking third this season? What's going on with that? Like, St. Louis has scored like 2 goals directly off somebody just giving a back pass to their striker. We just gifted one to Boo, and Zimmerman almost got there but then swung and missed. That could have been a lot more dangerous right there. Oh, Jesus. Fafa's been very active and involved since coming on, you know. I know just, not just Gary, but, you know, kind of general rule of thumb is you play a little more conservatively on the road than you do at home, but I wonder if he had that one to do over again, if he would have switched the starting lineup and kept Fafa in and not Will. Oh my God! Oh, beautifully delivered corner from Hanny. Fafa got a touch to it, but a New England defender got it just enough to misdirect it to where it didn't go on goal. Another corner for Nashville SC. Come on, we have to get one of these. We have to get one of these. St. Louis just went up 1-0 on San Jose. God, what a start to the season for them. What a start to their MLS tenure. Most people didn't think they were going to do much. They are on fire to start the season. Wow. New boy Gregus on for Nashville SC. Surprisingly, he's coming on for Davis. Would have thought McCarty would have been the one to give away if either of those two, but see what our new central midfield signing can bring. Can he give us anything here in the last 11 minutes or so? Gregus? Is it Gregus? I don't know how to pronounce it. Gives us some depth in midfield, which we desperately need. Probably could use a center back as well, though, but 4-0 Atlanta. Oh, sir! Borderline penalty shout there for Nashville SC. Looked like the man ran straight through Walker Zimmerman, but the ref judged that he got enough of the ball. But I've had several of these situations in games I've refed recently where getting the ball is not the end-all be-all. You still can't clean a man out. You have to be in control of yourself. You can't just blast through a player and say, oh, I got ball. There's an expectation that you are in control of yourself and you are not endangering your opponent with reckless challenges. But didn't see enough of it. Would need to see a replay to fully judge it, but ran through him pretty good there. I will say one thing about this broadcast is there have been like... Here's a replay. That's a penalty. He didn't even get the ball at all. That's got to be a penalty. Are we going to VAR that? I don't think he got any ball on that one. I don't think now that on the replay, I didn't think he got any ball on that. I was just about to say we haven't got as many replays as I would have liked on some of these situations, but that one, wow. He just straight... God. And now we're calling a foul on the keeper for a ball where everybody just jumped straight up and nobody did anything. I mean, there's three guys holding... What is the foul there? He was hit by his own player. His own players are the one that bumped into him. This is unbelievable. There's literally two guys full-on bear-hugging Walker Zimmerman on that corner. And they call a foul on us when their guys ran into their own keeper. This ref, you know, I thought he's had a pretty good game for the most part, but the last, like, 5 minutes... I don't know what's going on in these last 5 minutes, because the one replay we got to see of that Walker moment, that looked like the dude just straight clipped Walker's ankles and completely missed the ball. And then on that one, two guys bear hugging, dragging Walker to the ground, and they call a foul when a Chicago player bumps, or a New England player bumps into their keeper. Montreal just scored in the death. That game has been insane down the stretch. There was multiple cards, bench people getting cards, a long review on the equalizer goal, and they, 8 minutes into what was supposed to be 4 minutes of stoppage time, just scored what looks like the winner. Holy cow. That match has been insane. That might be the, in terms of just everything happening, that might be the match of the weekend. That was insane right there. It was funny because it was like in the upper box of the 360 broadcast, and like one of the people, the pundits, was just like, did Montreal just win the game? Because they were talking about something completely different. Wow. What a finish. Holy cow. This is a nice palate cleanser after the Nashville SC game, getting to see the craziness and fun stuff that's happening around the league. Big win for MLS adding this Apple deal, especially this 360 thing. This is awesome. Nashville SC ends up on top in possession somehow. Outshot them 16-10, but only 2 shots on goal to 5 shots on goal. Expected goals, 1.4 for New England, 1.18 for Nashville SC. Nashville SC 335 passes, New England 318. New England was more accurate, 79% to 78%. Doo-doo. Alright, so I'm going to do something I've done in the past that I learned from working through coaching. When you have a bad result or not the result you want, trying to do a post-game sandwich, you know, don't go all negative. Try to, like, so we'll do a little bit of, like, what were the negatives, what were the positives. I think there's only really one negative, so we'll do a sandwich where we start with positives. Start with positives. The Apple broadcast is awesome. It's everything I hoped it would be. I'm sure there's more they can do to advance it and clean it up and make it a little bit more crisp, you know. But the 360 thing, being able to watch that at the same time I'm watching the Nashville SC game, to be able to see what's going on around the MLS at the same time I'm watching the Nashville SC game was awesome. Love it. Huge start. I still think they need like a Monday evening, afternoon, like kind of studio, really well produced wrap-up show. That would be like the ideal thing that I haven't seen MLS get on Apple yet, and I've heard people say that that's coming, that there's going to be a version of that coming, but that they haven't got the people logistically in place. Like I think some people have to move to New York or wherever they film from to be able to do that. I don't know. That's just things I've heard people talk about. So I don't know. But that's what they need to be able to watch like on a Monday, whatever you missed from the weekend, a full recap show with like good commentators, good pundits, kind of recapping everything, like the match of the day, what they have in England, a match of the day style show. But yeah, everything from the presentation of the MLS match, very awesome. Loving my first time really getting to fully experience the MLS season pass experience on Apple TV Plus. So it's great from that perspective. So that's going to be the positive. In the middle, we'll put the negative. That first 10, 15, 20 minutes of the second half was as bad as we've seen Nashville SC play in a long time. Just could not get the ball, could not keep the ball, just sloppy in possession, sloppy in their passing, sloppy in defending, just sloppy all the way around. Like whatever Gary said at halftime was not effective, and whatever Bruce Arena said his team at halftime was effective, because New England came out on the front foot, came out with more energy, more aggression, more crispness to start the second half, and you could just feel the goal coming. You could just tell we were on our heels. When the goal came, they scored, it happened. We rebounded pretty well from it. You know, once Fafa came on, he was very dangerous. CJ was able to get a little bit more involved than Teal was. I don't know how much of that is Teal's fault, as how much of that was just we couldn't connect passes going from defense to midfield. Like we couldn't get the ball to Teal, so I don't know how much you could blame him for his, you know, kind of not great performance. I was kind of shocked to see the stats at the end that we ended up with more possession than them, but like the last like 15 minutes at least was kind of all us. They kind of went into a defensive shell trying to hold their lead, and it was kind of us on the front foot attacking. But you know, that one 15-20 minute spell where we just had no composure, no ability to keep the ball, just ruined the game for us. And that's when you're a kind of team like Nashville SC that like wants to play on the break, wants to play on the counter, you have to be more efficient in your control of the ball when you get it. Like you can Valera, local Nashville SC fan, one of the hosts of Pharmaceutical Soccer, newest correspondent for Broadway Sports Media covering Nashville SC. He does these film breakdowns on Twitter. The one from last week's game against Montreal was all about how like you can be successful without being dominant in possession, because Nashville SC barely had any of the ball last week against Montreal and pretty much killed them. This was kind of the opposite of that, where we didn't have enough of the possession to start the second half. And when we were getting the ball, we were immediately giving it back. We just had no composure, no ability to keep the ball, no ability to capitalize on the times that we were getting the ball, and just completely fell apart. Created some good chances, just had to capitalize. When you're a team like that, a team like us, you've got to finish your chances. You know, the early strike from Mokhtar, the Zimmerman smashed header into the post. I do still think, I mean, I will say that if there is a negative about the Apple TV broadcast, there's not enough replays. They don't go back to stuff enough. They just kind of move on. They keep the game flowing too much, but there's definitely stuff you'd want to see the replay of. Several replays I want to see a replay of that we never saw. The Zimmerman potential penalty shout, we only saw one replay of, and it wasn't the best angle either, but from the angle they showed, it certainly looked like Zimmerman's heels got clipped, and I don't know that the player actually got any of the ball on the replay, but it is what it is. maybe twice this year where Zimmerman's been fouled in the box, and I don't know if it's because he's a center back and they hold him to a different standard, but not getting calls when he's getting fouled in the box up there. So it is what it is. Disappointing result, but it was our, toughest test we've had so far. Playing on the road in MLS is always going to be a tough challenge. Sucked. Felt like we did enough to win the game. Well, let's finish it off. Let's go to the positive part of the sandwich. So we got the positive of the broadcast, the negative of that little 20-minute spell where we just couldn't do anything. Now we're going to finish with a positive. I thought Gregus, whatever his name is, when he came in, and I'll say Fafa too. Fafa was a huge difference maker when he came in. He got very active in the game. He was all over the place. Kept creating, kept pushing the play. CJ was, like I said, more involved. But Gregus was the guy who caught my eye of, coming in, because he was one I want to see, new boy on the street. He looked very composed on the ball. He made a lot of good passes. He was spraying the ball around, creating chances, which is something we've struggled to get from our midfielders. Like, I've talked about, Annabelle can do that. Onunga really can't. It's not necessarily Sean Davis's strong point. Dax can, but his mobility and kind of maneuvering isn't what it once was. But, Gregus, whatever his name is, he came on. He was really composed. He was really disciplined on the ball. He made some good passes. He spread the ball around. He put it into good spots where we could maybe get some. We got a few decent attacks out of passes that he made. Looks like he could be a player who, once he kind of is here for a minute and gets a little bit of rhythm, could not only be a depth player, but could be, somebody that steps in more regularly. Like, if Godoy is going to continue to have injury problems, kind of looks like he's a good alternative to Godoy more so than some of the other options. So, I don't know that he necessarily is going to become a first choice player, but I was very impressed by, what I saw out of him in this match, which is encouraging because that is an area of the field we desperately needed to add some depth, added some quality. I am kind of curious, it's one of the things that's kind of weird in these situations where, he seems pretty talented, he seems pretty good. He's a former designated player, I believe, for Minnesota. Played a lot of games for Slovakia at the international level, so I'm kind of curious, why was he a free agent? Why was he just kind of hanging out there and available? And why did, he'd been training with us in kind of a trial period for 2 weeks or so. So why did it take us 2 weeks to pull the trigger on actually signing him? I don't know if the roster cap relief we got from putting Nick Depay on season-ending lists played a factor in why we were able to sign him now. But it's interesting because he looked good. He looked like a player that's definitely can do some things, can definitely help us. So it's kind of interesting, why was he a free agent? And why did we wait 2 weeks to sign him? I don't know. We'll see. He looks like he's going to be a good addition, though, so that's going to be kind of the bottom positive of the sandwich. It's not throw the baby out with the bathwater. It's one game. It's early in the season. I will say, I don't want to break my sandwich, but to get a little negative thing, if I can, it is a little troubling to see us kind of struggling a little bit in attack and just watching the positives of being able to watch the 360, the MLS broadcast, be able to see all the games. It's great. I get able to keep up with the rest of the league, but I just watched Atlanta just demolish Portland, and I'm sitting here going, that's a team we're supposed to be competing with in the East if we really want to be competitive. And I don't see. I mean, Portland, they're usually pretty good. I don't know what their level is this season, but just getting shellacked 5-1. Atlanta just dominant. Now we're on Cincinnati, Chicago. This is embarrassing. There's I know we're kind of new, so it's the hot thing, and we're not, getting to a point yet where we're, oh wow, Chicago just scored right off the first half kickoff, 3-1 Chicago. I was hyping up Cincinnati earlier today in this broadcast, and they've gone off a cliff since I was talking good about them. But what I was gonna say is, there's 3 people at the Chicago game. This is embarrassing. How is a franchise, one of the older franchises in the league, one of the bigger markets in the league, in the Chicago Fire, they don't have a shirt sponsor? Does nobody want to spend the money to put their name on the front of the Chicago Fire shirt? I know they've been bad for like the last several years, but like, what's going on with that team? Like, why are they no shirt sponsor? There's like 8 fans at the game. Sheesh. I know we're early. We're the new kids on the block. We're the hot thing. You know, our fan base is still really excited that we're here. I really hope, you know, 10, 12 years from now, I'm not watching Nashville SC games on TV and seeing like, or I'll not being at Geodis Park and looking around and only seeing like 10 other people at the stadium. Because that broadcast right there, just now for the first time seeing the crowd shot of Chicago and how few people are there, that was embarrassing. We got derailed from there for a second. But that's the fun thing about the MLS 360 broadcast is stuff's happening all the time. There's never anything. There's plenty of stuff to keep your attention distracted and occupied. Not throwing the baby out with the bathwater. Hate that we finally lost. Hate that we finally gave up a goal. It's early in the season, though. We did enough to win. I was encouraged by the performance outside of that, like, bad 15 to 20 minutes we had to start the second half. We do need to, like, you know, and it's the thing people have talked about with needing to get more from our strikers, needing to get more from other people, and seeing a team like Atlanta put up 5 goals, seeing Chicago putting up 3 goals already. We've got to start generating more attack. We have to start generating more goals. Because there's going to be games like this where we have a bad spell, and if we give up 1 goal on a bad spell and just can't generate any goals ourselves, we're going to need more. It can't be all Hanny. You know, he still hasn't scored this season, but he's pushing, he's trying, he's doing everything he can to get something going. We need more. We need more, but, you know, disappointing result, but not the end of the world. A lot of season left to play. A lot of positives that can be built on. Like I said, Gregus looked good coming in. Fafa, you know, continues to look good. Schaffelberg. It was interesting. Like this was probably his least impressive game this season, but he was kind of playing such a weird role where he was like more central. I don't know. It was a weird game for him just because it felt like they pushed him into a different role, and I kind of talked about that earlier too. But it is what it is. Game's over. We'll be back next week. Next week, back to Geodis Park on my birthday. FC Cincinnati, who is capitulating and blowing the game against the terrible Chicago Fire right now, come to Nashville. I think they're a lot better than they used to be, but they're not looking very good today, so we'll see what happens. I'll be there live. Game day vlog. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel with the bell turned on for notifications so you get my birthday vlog at Geodis Park. Thank you for watching. As always, I'm going to keep watching 360 for the rest of the night. Might pop on, record a few extra things if anything cool happens. So there might be more to this vlog, but as far as I know right now, this is the end. Thank you for watching. Disappointing result, but as we always say, I'll never give up on you. Come on, you boys in gold. So I'm just reading on Twitter in his post-game comments, Gary Smith said that Walker Zimmerman only had 1 day of training because he had the flu, and that Muyl spent part of the week in concussion protocol. And so they went with a modified back 5 to try to, I guess, give a little extra cover to Walker if his fitness levels were a little down, but like, that just makes it so much more confusing why you played Muyl over Fafa. Like, I guess he's the more defensive one, so if you're trying to play a back 5 and you need him as a wing back and more inside, since you don't have Nick DePaይ or any other actual center backs who can go in and be the 3rd center back, I guess that's what you have to do. But like, you play a guy who was in concussion protocol to help out a guy who had the flu. That just seems like butchering terrible, like, logic. Like, if you need a 3rd center back, and I've been at the front of the line of talking about his mobility issues, but Dax has kind of slid in as a modified center back in the past. That probably seems like a better option than playing 2 guys who had no training all week together in a back 5. That just makes everything from this match more bizarre. Bonus content, friend of the channel commented on a recent video that he loves watching me suffer when Manchester United is playing poorly, so Manchester United's taking on Fulham in the FA Cup. Let's throw some content from that match in there. And the sickos out there can enjoy watching me suffer. Oh my God. Former United boy Andres Pereira almost made his pay right away. You almost got the instant satisfaction of seeing me mad that Fulham scored a goal. But you were denied. I just got all the way to the, like, almost last step of creating a superstar for My Rise mode in WWE 2K3, and the game crashed, and none of it saved. So I have to start all over, which is awesome. Thanks, WWE 2K3. Tim Ream clowning United at the moment. You hate to see it, but at the same time, you kind of love to see it. Tim Ream fighting back the hands of time in ways that I can't. My knees are gone. Tim Ream, baller. There it was, of course. Fulham scores. Mitrovic. This is what you wanted. This is what you wanted. Hope you're happy. And Rashford's down hurt too, so awesome. Everything you guys could have possibly wanted and more. Oh my gosh! Please don't waste this! Oh my god! Oh my god! Wide open goal. Too many touches from Sancho. Willian with the block. God, Willian getting back to make that block. Sancho's gotta finish that. Gotta do something there. Oh, is that his arm? That's a handball. If this is not a handball, if VAR doesn't get this, I'm never going to know what it is. He's in his body, but he punches at the ball. That's a handball. That's got to be. VAR has got to overturn that. That's got to be a red card too. His hand is in his inside, but he moves his hand to the ball. It's ball to hand. It's a deliberate motion. It's got to be a handball. It's got to be a sending off. Oh, VAR is actually coming to the rescue of United for once. For once. I don't actually, a lot of the stuff lately, I feel like refs are not making calls because they know they have VAR as a backup, but this one would have been hard to call live action because his hands and his body, it's a very subtle, sneaky little movement by Willian. And he immediately, oh, he just sent off a Fulham, was that a manager? Somebody on the bench area just got sent off. Somebody must have been disturbing him while he's trying to look at the VAR. It's got to be a penalty. It's got to be a red card. It's as dogzo as it gets when you're punching a ball away with your hand to stop a ball going in the net. Sancho had to do better there. Sancho should have finished that. He knew it. Oh, Mitrovic just checked the ref. Body checked the ref. Are we going to have a third red card here for Fulham in like the space of a minute? Why is everybody jumping in to argue this one so much? There's nothing to it. There's like multiple Fulham people coming onto the pitch. I don't know what Fulham's arguing about here. Fulham's out of control. Fulham is completely out of control right now. This is insane. I don't know why they're throwing such a fit over something that's pretty clear and obvious. If Mitrovic doesn't get sent off, that's insane because he just came in and fully chest bumped the ref like a full-on. Mitrovic has been sent off. Wow. 3 red cards for Fulham personnel in this. Mitrovic is off. Willian is off. Fulham's down to 9 men. A coach or a manager or somebody got sent off while he was trying to watch the VAR. Wow. That was as wild of a sequence as you're ever going to see in football. And over something that was super clear and obvious. I cannot believe Fulham lost their composure so much over that. I don't know if they're mad that there was something earlier in the match that they felt should have been called that didn't get called, and now they're upset that this call just went. I don't know what caused the insanity there, but Fulham, everybody. It's Marco Silva, it looks like, their manager. Looks like he's been sent off. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Down to 9 men. They've lost their manager. Their 2 best attackers are off, so if we convert this penalty, now they're trying to scuff up the penalty mark, doing the little dark arts tactic stuff there. That was unbelievable. I can't believe Fulham's coach, Fulham's players all lost their composure so much over it. It was a clear penalty. There was no doubt. But, like, there had to have been some call that I didn't notice earlier that they wanted, and they didn't get the call earlier, and they're mad about not getting a call earlier. Because that one, there was no way you should have that much of a meltdown over that call getting overturned, because it was very obvious. It was blatant. That was insane. That whole sequence was absolutely insane. 3 red cards in one sequence. All justified, too. I mean, I don't know what Marco Silva did, but I mean, here comes the penalty. Come on, Bruno. All level, 1-1. Here we go. Here we go. Don't know what Silva did. I know there's strict rules about you're not supposed to come into the VAR area, so I don't know if it's a straight red for entering the VAR area. I don't know if he said something that justified the red card. But Willian, it's a clear red card because he stops the ball from going into the net with his hands. And Mitrovic just, like, lost his mind, grabbed and pulled the referee back, and then chest bumped him after he'd given him the red card. So you don't often see 3 red cards in one little sequence of the game, but he did right there, and they're all justified. There's no denying that. No denying. I just can't understand how Fulham just completely all lost their minds right there. What got into Mitrovic? What got into Silva? Has to be a call or some calls earlier in the match that they're not happy with or something like that, but I don't know. Wow. Down 2 players, arguably your 2 best attackers, and your manager's been sent off. Tied 1-1, 15 minutes, and probably now a lot of stoppage time left to play. This match went from being kind of boring and uninteresting to completely insane and off the rails. Wow. As the great Sir Alex Ferguson said, football, bloody hell. Goal! Right away! Sabitzer! Oh, he's celebrating too! What a turnaround! What a spell! Oh my days! I have to see a replay there because I think they're certainly going to want to say that Sabitzer was offside, but I think he was behind the ball. Jesta, is that you?
No.
Oh, it's not Jesta, don't worry. Alright, here's the replay. Let's see. Yeah, Sabitzer's behind the ball. That's fully legal. That's a goal. What, like a 10-minute spell this just turned into. This is insane. United were down 1-0. Broke in, had a scoring opportunity. Fulham player smashed it away from the net with his hand. So it's a penalty, red card for denying an obvious goal scoring opportunity. Fulham's manager lost his mind. He got a red card. One of the players went over and like jerked the referee back, and he got a red card. And now, like 2 minutes later, United scored a penalty, then scored again to go up 2-1. It's been insane. You missed it.
Oh my God, this is so exciting.
I know. You missed it.
So, yeah, when can you feed me?
I'm not going to feed you.
What?
You're on your own. There's leftovers in the fridge. You want my burger from the other night? I got 2 burgers.
It's probably gross now.
Got the leftover pork from...
Ew.
You're on your own. You want Oli?
No.
Fried Oli? I can't get over that whole little sequence there. That was one of the absolutely most insane sequences I've seen in football. From the initial break by Sancho, touched around the keeper, probably 1 or 2 touches too many before finding a way to get a shot off. The weird thing that's lost in the shuffle is it was a incredible effort by Willian to even get into position to maybe block it. And I guess when he dove in last second, he just realized he wasn't going to be able to get enough of his body, and that's where the hand movement came from. But the whole sequence, all the way from then up until the second goal, Sabitzer putting United on top, wildest sequence I've seen in football in quite some time. Really excited to see like the post game on this. Silva, I want to hear what he says, what happened that caused him and his whole team to just lose their minds there. Also to see like the studio analysis and what all the pundits have to say. Bruno adds a third, a little insurance goal late, but man, one of the craziest things I've seen in football. Absolutely insane. I can't wait to hear more about what went down, more about what caused Fulham to just completely lose their minds there. The haters who wanted to see me upset and despondent must be sick. United on to another semi-final, going back to Wembley. Wembley, Wembley, the famous Man United, and we're going to Wembley. Good bonus content for this video. I would have been in rough shape if Nashville SC and United both lost.